Hey guys, welcome back to the second episode of League Investigations. On the last video, I received this comment asking me to look into Bami Cinder and his completed items to help determine if they should be completed or built at all, and I thought that was a great idea, so let's get into it. Just like any other investigation, we start with testing. Bami Cinder is a 900 gold component that gives the player 150 health and 5 ability haste, but the main draw to the item is its passive, Immolate. This passive burns nearby enemies, minions, and monsters for 15 magic damage per second after taking or dealing damage. This component then builds into two different items, Sunfire Aegis and Hollow Radiance, each offering the same health and ability haste, but now including armor or magic resist, respectively. With this upgrade, they receive more damage on their Immolate passive, with these items giving extra magic damage equal to 1% of the user's bonus health, not their total health, meaning it would include health from items, runes, or passives, but not a champion's base stats. Sunfire also includes an additional 5 base magic damage. Due to the nature of these items doing magic damage, they are impacted by magic resist, as the target with 0 magic resist takes 39 damage from Sunfire, while the target with 45 magic resist takes only 26. This damage is also impacted by Magic Pen, with the same setup with only a Void Staff added, did 4 more damage for a total of 30 damage. Items at times offer synergies with one another, and the Bami items are no different. Some items that may sound nice in theory but did not work in practice include Leandri's, with its percent max health burn, Rylai's, which offers a slow when you deal magic damage to enemies, and Bloodletter's Curse, which shreds magic resist to enemies hit by magic damage. Sadly, in all three cases, these items require that damage to come from an ability or passive, not items. Now, some items that did work directly with Bami items include Oblivion Orb, as the magic damage to proc Grievous Wounds effect, Abyssal Mask, as its passive causes the enemies to take more magic damage from all sources, and Riftmaker, which is hard to notice but does give the increased damage and Omnivamp effect on each damage tick. While all this has been interesting, the Bami items are usually built for one major reason, and that is for wave clear. Testing their effectiveness with just one item against minion waves, Bami Cinder took 29 seconds to clear a cannon wave, Sunfire took 14 seconds, and Hollow Radiance took about 18 seconds. This is about an 80 to 100% increased efficiency upon item completion. Now that we have all that out of the way, we have to use our best judgment to apply it to our games. Looking at it purely from a damage output perspective, a basic Ornn combo did 846 damage in about 3 seconds. In that same amount of time, Bami Cinder, Sunfire, and Hollow Radiance would have done 45, 117, and 105 damage, an increase of 5.3, 13.8, and 12.4% respectively. We also have to keep in mind that, unlike abilities, the Bami items do not have downtime, and adding just another 4 seconds of auto attacking, Bami Cinder gets to just above an 8% damage increase, while the completed items will give about 20% more damage. It is important to note that this is not all encompassing. First off, all champions will be slightly different with both ability uptime and total damage output. Secondly, we did not include ult in these calculations, nor the slightly more optimal Ornn combo for damage. This testing is not entirely biased in only one direction either, though, as it also assumes the target has equal parts armor and magic resist. While this is usually not the case, as champions tend to have naturally higher armor and build more items with armor, not to mention that we are assuming you can land a combo to begin with. All these damage calculations also assume this is a 1 versus 1, which is often not the case, and these items all scale their damage with the number of enemies around you. Now, looking at it from a CS perspective, it is quite apparent that the wave clear provided by these items is quite limited on their own, but still useful in killing waves, especially without using all your cooldowns or mana. They also offer an execute mechanic on minions if one more tick would kill the minion, helping the player secure minions that they may otherwise miss due to minions or tower damage. Despite these bonuses, they may at times hinder the player though, as the extra damage may cause CSing under tower to be more difficult, or securing plates to be more punishing as you draw turret aggro just for being near the enemy. Alright, now let's pull this all together. Is it worth it to build Bami Cinder at all, let alone complete the items? And like always, it depends. From a laning perspective, the Bami Cinder component is likely a good item to purchase in lanes where you will lack pushing power, especially into split pushers like Trundle or Tryndamere, as the item can help you quickly clear waves and prevent them from taking your tower. Whether you should go on to complete the items, especially early on, comes down to the enemy team comp. As we've seen above, these items can increase champions' damage in teamfights by upwards of 20% and possibly far more, but only when facing enemies that are in range. This makes them especially useful into teams with a lot of melee champions. I'm talking 3 or more consistent targets, and in these cases, I'd say it's definitely worth completing the full items. Into heavy range teams, you'll have to consider whether the damage is more important or the better defensive options on Kanik and Randuin's Omen might give you more value. Also, some champions utilize these items far better than others. Obviously, champions like Ashe will get little value since they aim to be nowhere near the enemies and do not build much max health, but even among champions that reasonably can build the items, some will get far more use than others. For example, Galio often purchases Hollow Radiance to match the wave clear of mages and get Prio so he can rotate to his team. Other champions that work well with these items are Amumu and Zac. Both have the ability to lock down multiple champions. They synergize well with items like Abyssal Mask and Riftmaker, and both have passives that increase the item's effectiveness, with Amumu giving more damage and Zac still burning enemies while they're near his blobs. Contrast this with a champion like Sion, who wants to take towers, and in many matchups, the item may be a poor choice, as it'll hinder your split push when you take unnecessary tower shots. There is no perfect answer to the question posed at the start, but I do hope that this video gives you the extra context needed to make the decision yourself. I'm actually coming away from this video surprised, as I did not expect that this one item could increase your damage by upwards of 20%, and I'll be looking to make more use of this in future games. That being said, that is all I have for this video. If you have any more questions regarding the item or suggestions for other items or mechanics to look into, drop them below in the comments, and if you enjoyed the video or appreciate the information, drop a like and maybe consider subscribing so I know I'm doing something right. Thanks for watching.